So we have Red Horse beer, which is our favorite beer from the Philippines, San Miguel Brewery, which is actually very considerate. So thank you so much for bringing that. I like it.
Okay, so before let's get through these questions and start talking.
Yeah. So the next part, everybody, you guys have come down. You've taken your time out of your lives to come chill with us. So now we're just gonna spend the rest of the time answering your questions until we have to stop. So this is the Facebook poll. This is the Facebook for those of you who don't know. The first question with the most number of votes, with 330 people, says how and where do you find out what the rules and regulations are for each country? So how do you find out about docking? How do you find out about mooring? How do you find out about customs? No, you're good, you're good.
Brian, can I stop you there and do a host maintenance real quick?
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's do a host maintenance real quick.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nobody else do that or else we can't talk anymore.
Tequila. Tequila, okay. So, luckily I drank water all morning. Okay, guys, so let's see. Where did I start? The number one question is, how do you figure out, how do you cruise? Like, how do you get through customs? How do you get through clearance? How do you figure out where the dangers are? And when I think about this, there's actually three major sources of information. Oh. Tequila. The first one is a website called Noonsite. Has anybody ever heard of Noonsites? Okay, so this is a major resource for us because it's always updated. If you go to Noonsite and then you go to the countries list, all the countries are in here. All right, and then you can actually click on a country. So what I did is I actually clicked on Madagascar. And is this, I don't know how readable it is for you guys, so I'm just gonna go over the highlights here, but it gives you some facts about Madagascar, what it's about. It gives you what the security situation is, like if there's been any crime against yachts, anything that's known. Like it says in August 2014, a yacht was boarded at night in Diego Suarez, what the weather is, where the ports of entry are, which is important. And if you dig in on the left, there's this section called formalities. So this is the formalities section for Madagascar. And it gives you the instructions for clearance because every country does something a little bit different. So some countries like New Zealand and Australia, they want you to come to a quarantine dock. So you go up to the dock, you're literally put in a cage and you're fenced in until they clear your boat. And the guys come to your boat, they check you in, like, you know, customs, quarantine, immigration, they all come to your boat, they do your paperwork. Madagascar doesn't have that. The Philippines doesn't have that. Most countries in the world, South Africa doesn't have that. So you basically rock into a port, you get off the boat, and you go find customs, you go find immigration, you go find whoever it is you need to process your paperwork. And I think that's most of the countries we've been to. Like some countries don't even know you're there for a long time. Well, opens. So, yeah, I mean, Noonsite is a huge, huge resource for us. There's another resource that has actually just started to happen over the last few years. And this is because of the proliferation of internet. So when we left Seattle, I thought it would be super cool to have like a Wi-Fi antenna and a Wi-Fi booster. And it turns out like that was okay in Mexico, but nobody else in the world has Wi-Fi. But now in some of these remote places, like Madagascar, you can just go and buy a SIM card. And it costs like $1 or $2, and you have internet. So everybody, nearly everybody, if you want it, has internet. You just need an unlocked phone, you buy a SIM card, you do some prepaid data, and you're sorted.
I'd say America's the hardest country in the world we've been to actually get a SIM card and put data on it.
Yeah,
it's really tough.
I think you got a 5 gig plan in Madagascar. We could buy 100 gigs of data for like $70.
Yeah.
Like that. And in South Africa, it's good for a year. You can get 200 gigs of data for $70, and it lasts you for a year before it expires. So
Wi-Fi, yeah. 3G,
so countries are getting really
3G
switched
is
on.
where it's at.
3G. So what this is the Indian Ocean Crossing Group. And this particular group is a secret group because people are sketched out about pirates on the east side of Africa, on the west side of Africa. So if you're crossing the Indian Ocean, you want to be a part of this group. So pretty much anywhere you go, there's going to be a Facebook group like this. And if you look through some of these posts that are in here, these are actually posts. Like, has anybody obtained an Indian visa outside of your home country? Because India did this silly thing where now if you're in Thailand, where all the cruises are before going to India, you can no longer get a visa there. Like, it's insane. And so there's comments, there's messages, you can get email alerts. Like, these guys are talking about South Africa, you know, plan to leave Richards Bay, where's the anchorages, like how's the weather doing? So this is what's going on, and this is what we follow, and we get these emails from the group, and we chat with people. I'd say the third biggest source of information is probably still gonna be cruiser nets, although the places that we've been, like cruiser nets were super big when we were in Mexico and in French Polynesia, but as we moved through Asia and into the Indian Ocean, there was just not the number of boats to support a good net on either the VHF or the SSB. So those kind of died off because people are spread across, you know, thousands of miles and maybe 2 months of sailing. So for us, we get all of our information, noon site, Facebook groups, and local knowledge, like emailing cruisers that have just been there. You know, cruisers, like if something happens in the cruiser community, security-wise, it spreads like wildfire. Like everybody.
More than good news does, unfortunately.
Yeah. But I mean, a lot of that too. Like, okay, this is a really sweet anchorage. Here's my coordinates. Go check that out. Here's the guy who can hook you up with fresh veggies, or here's where to keep your dinghy that's safe, that they won't charge you. So that sort of stuff you're going to find in Indian Ocean Group, like Indian Ocean Crossing Group, or whatever the group is for your area. Does anybody have any more questions there? I feel that was a really easy. Yeah, one in the back.
What's your favorite beer?
Oh.
More beer.
It depends on what country we're in.
What is something you found that's really special?
I mean,
Okay.
we just had some Red Horse brought to us. That's pretty special.
Yeah, Red Horse is very special from the Philippines. In South Africa, what was the craft beer that we had?
I don't even remember the name of it.
Castle's good. I do enjoy Castle. Castle is like the Budweiser of South Africa. It's amazing, great beer.
It's a good question, but it's unanswerable. Thank you. On to the next one.
I can tell you in Madagascar, it's THB, which is Three Horses beer. It's a beer that is, you can drink it warm, and if you can drink a beer warm, then it must be good. Yeah.
We'll get through these top questions first.
I've been
I've
been schooled.
We got to get through these top questions that everybody's voted on, and then we'll go to the. Sorry, we'll come back to it.
Okay, so number 2, what are the costs associated with routine maintenance items? How do you budget for that? 200 votes. Cool. Okay, so on these, what we tend to do, and I found that this works for our boat and also for some bigger boats that Brady's been on, is we budget 1.5% of the boat value per year for general maintenance. So this, when I say general maintenance, I don't mean like big things like we have to replace the rigging, we have to replace the dinghy, we have to replace the sails. I'm talking like this pump broke, like I need to replace that hose, that sort of thing, about 1.5%. So if you have a $100,000 boat, then and this is going to vary, but your general budget would be about $1,500 for the year. Divide that up by the number of months. We tend to do the same thing for major items. So, you know, every 2 to 3 years, you're going to have to haul out. That's a big expense. Every 10 years, you're going to have to replace your rigging. You're going to have to replace your sails. Every, you know, so many thousand miles, depending on, I think our first set of sails lasted us about 25 or 30,000 miles. So we got a life out of those. They were really stretched by the end, but that's because we couldn't afford new sails. So yeah, 1.5% is kind of what we go by. Follow it, yeah?
We'll take that one later. We got to get through these top questions first. Everybody voted on
I've been
these.
schooled again. Okay.
We'll come back to that for sure.
Okay, so the next one. What were several of the coolest destinations that we've been through, and what destination would we avoid going back to? So I would say that my two top countries so far, talking from my heart, has been Philippines and Madagascar. So the Philippines, we arrived there, we were going to stay for 1 month or 2 months was the plan, and we ended up staying 8 months there. So the Philippines has about 7,000 islands, and it's just amazing. And the people, we got kind of adopted by this group of people, friends that we found, and it was perfect. They showed us around, we hung out with them, it was a very, very special time. And similar thing, I guess, happened in Madagascar, where we met this group of people when we were there, and it was just really, really special getting to know these locals. And Madagascar also has French-influenced food, which was a huge thing after crossing the Indian Ocean, where we could now get steaks and baguettes and all this good French food.
How much did a bottle of rum cost? 90 cents.
Yeah.
For a liter.
Yeah,
A
for a
liter of
rum.
good rum.
So
It was amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Really good rum. Yeah.
we actually, we were in Madagascar, we sailed to South Africa, and I think Madagascar was one of the big reasons why we went back there last season, for sure. And the place we wouldn't go back to, I can only think of one, and it would be a city called Sorong.
So wrong.
In Indonesia, because it was, for us, it was a bad place for us. It was dirty. That was one of the places where we got boarded and robbed. So we had to do night watches, which sucks if you're an anchor. I would say that's really the only. Can you
But
guys?
the rest of Indonesia is
Yeah. And we talked to some other cruises, and I told this story how we had a bad experience there, and they were like, "What?"
We love Sarong.
Exactly. So.
go for it.
What's the next one?
How do you handle and how often are the conflicts between the salty sailors?
He's been called out again.
What mistakes have you made and what have you learned from them? So I can think of one mistake that we did in Raja Ampat where we actually got lost. So we sailed for about 40 nautical miles and we were going to the city of Vasai, which we were going to get a permit there to be able to dive the rest of the area. And we arrived in Vasai where it was on our digital chart, and we arrived and it was nothing there. Nothing, like not even a village or a little anything. So we had nobody to ask for directions, and we were just kind of lost, and we started to rumble through our other maps that we had. We had this crappy little tourist map that we kind of found.
That was our official chart from now on.
Exactly, and we kind of found Vasai in a slightly different place. So I guess, we sailed for about 2 days then to find the real Vasai, like where it actually was. And I guess what we learned from that was maybe to have a little bit more backup, not just one chart. Have at least 2 or something that would show the area.
One time I put the coordinates in the GPS wrong, really close to the international date line, and we were trying to find this reef to go there. And the international date line north of New Zealand or by Fiji is where the east and west changes. And so I put the coordinates, and I think I put in
You put
east,
178 east
and
instead
it
of
should have been
178
west. And so we got there, and there was just nothing there. It was just a patch of ocean.
Not only was that, but we sailed for like 3 or 4 days, beating into 25
to get
knots.
there, and we got there, and we were like,
Like we were
oh,
sailing,
shit.
and like, wait, Brian, we should be getting close, and recheck the coordinates, and it's
then
like, oh, it's east.
We're on the
not
wrong
west.
side of the date
Date
line.
line. Oh, it's alright. We made our way up.
We bailed. We just
went
went
to
we
Fiji.
just sailed to Fiji. It was all right.
That was good. Okay, so how do you handle? How often there are conflicts between the Salty Sailors and Delos? So how do you handle conflicts? Well, Yosha's dad was a very smart man, and he came up with something called the love circle. And what we do is, when there was 7 of us on board, every Sunday we'd have something called the love circle. And I know it sounds pretty dirty, but
Sounds weird, Brady. Honestly,
but all right. So So every Sunday we'd all get together in the cockpit, and it was basically a time where anybody could say what was on their mind, anybody could say what they were feeling or what was bothering them, and there was no judgment, there was no anger, there was nothing, and everybody got their chance to talk and say what they had to say before anybody could interrupt. And it would be anything from like, oh bro, you left out your cup and I had to wash it for you 2 days in a row. And it's those little things like that that eventually will get to you.
Or you're using too much water. Please don't use so much
Thanks, Will.
water or toilet. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're using too much water is a very good one. Or, for example, we ran out of toilet paper. So these are the type of things that we talk about, which normally they wouldn't be an issue. But if there's only 7 of you or only 3 of you or however many on the boat, it builds up. And then there's one little thing like, oh, you left a glass out, that will set you off. So I think the most important thing about handling conflicts is to talk about it all the time. Doesn't matter what it is, just be honest and say, hey, this has been bothering me, or that annoyed me what you said, and then talk through it. No judgment, nothing else. That's kind of how what worked with us.
Yeah, and I think the other side to that too is some preemptive actions. Like what we did is we created a cooking schedule on Delos, so there's no ambiguity if it's your day to cook. Like we have your day, it's always your day. When it's your day to cook, you do the dishes as well. You cook lunch, you cook dinner, breakfast is like whatever you want to do by yourself. And so nobody has any questions. The same thing for cleaning. We had just a list of tasks. And we said, okay, cleaning day is always going to be Monday. And on Monday, everybody's going to clean. Everybody cleans, no matter who you are. This is your task. Next week, you'll have a different task. I might clean the dinghy one week. The next week, I'll be cleaning the deck and then the cockpit. And we sort of rotate it. And I think a little bit of regimented action on a ship with a larger crew helps.
Even small. I mean, with the 3 of us, it works.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, you cooked yesterday. Should I cook today? I don't know what's going on. But if you have it scheduled, it's okay.
Yeah.
And I also think respecting others and also listening to yourself. Like we all have different things that we kind of need in our lives, and I mean, I need my own space sometimes. And for me, it's really important that I get that space and that I take that, that I decide that now I'm going to be in the back of the boat and I'm going to be by myself for the rest of the night. And just to be honest to yourself and also to be honest to others, to say like, hey guys, I'm not going to watch a video with you now, I'm going to do this, and that other people respect that. And I think it's worked. I mean, we've had so many people and we've never really had any serious conflicts, I wouldn't say.
No mutiny so far.
No.
Not so far.
Okay.
So what do you say? Should we go more, or should we just?
Let's just do
audience
you guys came
questions.
Here.
You guys
you were first. You came here.
The 5 knockdowns, how would they have been handled in a large catamaran?
Whoa, I've never sailed a catamaran in those types of conditions. From what I've heard from other sailors who did the same type of sailing, is in a catamaran you tend to sail a little bit more conservatively than you would a monohull. So you sail to the average wind, whereas we'll sail to the maximum wind, or the other way, right? So we'll generally carry more sail longer because we have a lot of forgiveness, because the monohull will be there's a built-in pressure relief where the big puff of wind will hit and the boat will heel over, she'll come back, you'll keep on going. Whereas in a catamaran, if a big puff hits you, then that energy has to be translated into something. And so it either goes into moving the boat forward, and if it's too much or that's not possible, then something goes, something has to give. And the feedback that we got from talking to both Arthur and Amy, and also the wild one, Martin, who both agreed on this, is that they saw broken stuff. Like their sails would be stretched, they would break shackles, they would break blocks. And when we compared our passage times, although the catamarans under some point of sail can generally be faster, overall conditions, our passage times were nearly identical within just a few miles.
Just a few miles, yeah.
But again, we're talking about when Martin's boat on the Wild One, his was a 51-foot, very lightweight performance cat. Arthur and Amy on Morning Glory was a 44-foot Katana.
Yeah.
So
it's a very tough question.
Yeah, it's a tough question.
I've never been in those conditions.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you sail, I suppose. It's open to either. So.
What are your plans for the future?
Okay,
That's a
so
good one. That's a good question.
Delos is right now, well, I've talked about it.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so what is the plan for the future for us? So,
Babies. Babies.
She's blushing again.
so right now the boat is in South Africa. And
It's a good place to start.
Yeah. So we're planning to move kind of towards Brazil this year. So we're gonna stay in Cape Town for a little bit, and then we're gonna. Next year, sorry. Next year. It's almost a new year, sorry. Next year, we're moving towards Brazil, and then we're gonna kind of slowly make our way up and into the Caribbean. So we're probably in like a year be somewhere around this general area of the Caribbean.
We should be in Trinidad by July or August, I think.
And then from there, I mean, we want to spend some more time close to family here and have the kind of freedom that that gives. And
And we'll be sick of it, and then who knows what'll happen.
yeah, I mean, we don't have any plans. I mean, I really like the sailing that we do and the filming that we do. We don't have any plans of like, if we come here, we're gonna stop, you know? Nothing like that yet.
I think Brian said it right in the beginning. You know, we'll do it until it doesn't become fun anymore, or until one of us want to go somewhere.
Will that ever happen?
Well, how do you know? I don't know. It's a very good question. Maybe. I think that's it though. Until one of us stops having fun, or until we want to go do something else, and we'll keep doing it.
So I think this lady had a question
Yes,
about
sorry, you had a question earlier.
languages.
Welcome back.
It's a good question. The toilet is in the far right corner.
No, it was something about languages. You asked what about
yes,
language?
how do you get by? English is great everywhere?
No.
Repeat the question.
Sorry, she asked, how do you get by with all the different languages in the world? And I'd say most of the places we have been have either been majority French or English.
French or English?
Yeah, I think the majority of places we've been. I guess in Asia, most people speak English. You get a lot of people that speak English, so English is definitely good. But other than that, smartphones are huge these days, and there's Google Translate. And literally, when we were in Reunion this year in some French islands, we would talk into the phone and say, oh, I want to send this package to China. And then it would say it to the lady. And the lady would answer back in French, and then it would say it to me in English. So it kind of defeats the purpose of learning a language, but
you can get by.
But you can get by. Always hand signals and smiles are the best way.
When you travel south, you may want to take me. I speak Spanish.
¿Tú hablas español? Okay. Sí. Sorry, go ahead. Yep.
Considering that you're planning on going to the Caribbean, and I'm sure we have a lot of cruisers out here in the audience as well, as I'm planning on doing that myself, any chance of some sort of like a Delos cruiser rendezvous?
Yes.
Yes. So the question comment is, since we are coming to the Caribbean, is there any chance of a cruiser Delos rendezvous at some point? And I think absolutely. I think we have to do that. I don't know when, I don't know where, but at some point we will. We'll figure out a cool place. We'll get feedback from people who have been there, some local knowledge, and we'll do it. It'll be fun. All right, next question. Hand up right there. Yep, you got it. You got it. You're in. Can we get some? I got a question coming here, guys.
In the context of watching videos, like what would your advice be if somebody is really interested in doing this? It's his passion. He wants to circumnavigate the globe. What would your advice be to somebody who wants to do this?
Like in regards, so the question is, what would our advice be to somebody who wants to do this? But what I want to know is, do you mean in regards to sailing, cruising in general, or to documenting it via videos or blogs, or? All of it.
Those are two very different.
Okay, well, I'll take the first part. So the first part that I would talk about is getting off the dock. And I've seen a lot of cruisers stay at the dock a long time, preparing for everything, fixing everything, making covers for everything, and then making bags to put the covers in. And then time goes by, and maybe that's some people's dream. Maybe they love the dream and the planning and the preparation and the excitement that comes around playing in this voyage. But I think
okay, that's great.
and that's amazing. But I think at some point your boat will never be perfect. You'll never be 100% ready. You just have to cut the cord, and you have to untie lines, and you have to go.
I think a positive mindset goes a long, long way. You're going to run out of money. You're going to break things. Things are going to go out of plan no matter what. And the way you react to a situation will make the huge difference. Whether it's an official checking into a country or trying to get a new part for something. If you come at the situation with a smile and a sense of humor, I think everything will work its way out, which is kind of what we've done, and it's worked. So.
And you probably know a lot more already than you think you do.
Yeah.
And what you don't know, you'll figure out.
So we should do some giveaways, bro.
Giveaway stuff.
Yeah.
Giveaway.
We've done time for some giveaways.
I've been told we're going to do a giveaway.
We're going to walk around and answer some questions, but the manager is getting a little antsy with fire code around here. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, he's good. It's good. Tipano's is a good place. Good place. Good place. So I think we should just. You have the tickets. All right. You hand me the first ticket.
Where was the winner? Did we give that to the?
Yeah, they're good.
Okay, we need to see with you after so we can get you for answering the Barracuda and monkey question correctly.
Yeah.
Nice job on that one.
You should come up right now, please. And
Yeah, come on up.
Karin
Come on
will
up.
sort you out.
Come on up, Barracuda.
I'll do one for now. So what we're going to do is we have a lot of stuff to give away, so we have a lot of tickets we gave out. If you guys just want to come down this aisle here, and we'll send them that way, and you can pick up what you want. So the first one, last three numbers are 726.
Anybody have 726?
Oh, double trip now.
Oh, pretty close. 2 tickets away from mine.
Come on through. 726, 726.
How are you?
There it is.
Oh.
All right.
Hey, how are you? Right, you give me some of your luck, right? Hey, man.
Hey, bro, how are you?
Here you go.
Thanks, man.
Thanks.
Okay.
Is this a great shirt or what?
Hey, sweet shirt, bro. I like it.
In the meantime, you guys feel free to
looking
grab a
good.
beer and hang out. We're just going to call
Chilling.
numbers out, and then we'll
Very
come
cool.
walk around and
All right,
talk to you guys.
watch the court.
No, just hand them out, whatever they want. First come, first serve.
Kazatron is in charge of what you get. Brady's in charge of who wins.
That's
I
the
just
one.
stand here.
Brian just stands there. Brian's to keep the commentary going.
Anyway, yeah, I'll draw a ticket. Okay, so I know you guys probably have a lot more questions. We're gonna hang around afterwards. We're gonna do as much question answering as we can.
But we need to turn it back into a bar, is what we're saying.
Okay.
And we need to walk around and we need to
the last
spread out.
4 digits of this is 1740. Who has 1740 tickets?
Hey,
You're already front
close.
row, front row. Perfect. Okay, does anybody, should you do a question now? You do a
Let's
question.
do a question while I'm calling them out.
Whoa.
Are there any YouTubers that you guys like to watch? Sailing YouTubers.
Good question. You can answer
You know,
that.
that's a great question. We actually don't watch a lot of YouTube and we don't spend a lot of time on the internet. We have seen a few of the Vagabonds videos. We haven't watched all of them.
I talk to them a lot. They're great people.
Brady talks to them quite a bit.
Amazing friends. Yeah, great people.
I know that the earlier one that actually I watched before starting to make these videos was Rick Moore. You remember Rick Moore? He's ambient real life. He's sophisticated lady. He had the parrot on his shoulder, and I thought it was great and hilarious, and that's very cool. So his parrot's not there anymore, but we'd love to meet him when we get into the Caribbean. Oh, nice.
This
Well
is
done.
more new samples that we've got in.
Congratulations.
This is going in a place of honor.
Cool. All right, looking good.
Slide with the thing for the shop.
Ah.
All right, next number, last three, 753. I feel like I'm an announcer at like a B54.
Bingo!
Hey, look at you right there. 753. Oh, that's not right. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, there was one thing that I was supposed to mention that Brady has just so delicately reminded me of, is we set up a coupon code for you guys on the site. So if you go to svdelos.com gear and you put in the coupon Delos Meetup, it'll give you a pretty sweet little discount.
So all the stuff we're giving away today is new samples that Karin and I have been working on for this past season, designing new prints and new shirts and new mugs because everybody's asking for them. So we decided, let's do it. Let's
And
figure
of
it
course, anybody who's watching this on Facebook Live, what the hell, go for
of
it.
course. Yep, use it.
It's pretty much the cost that we get the stuff from, so we don't lose any money, we don't make any money.
You get it when
guys
we get it
cool
out.
gear.
Yep.
Enjoy.
Okay, cool.
Question?
Have you gotten approached by any gear manufacturers or sailboat manufacturers about like?
We get some approach from some crazy things, like some strange things.
No, we don't.
People who make sunglasses,
them too
people
much.
who
They're out.
backpacks, and all sorts of cool stuff. But we really want to. It's the whole project and everything around it is sponsored by the people who watch,
Cool,
and that's
man.
kind of our thing. Is it's supported by you guys, and we don't want to like trade that in for anything. So that's kind of how we're sticking with it for now. Oh wait, sorry, I gotta go. Yep. I'm sorry, I can't hear you, bro. Okay, so the question is, what would we look for in a new boat if we were going to go back to the binning? Oh, you want to get in on that one, Brady?
I would say definitely a heavy boat. Definitely, if you're going to buy a new boat, you have to think about what you're going to put into it to make it sail-worthy, especially if it's a used boat. And the most important things that'll get you out there are going to be rigging, hull, sails after that. And if you have those three things, the rest of the stuff can kind of fall into the place as you go.
But I think the caveat to that is it really depends on what you're going to do with the boat.
Yeah, this is
You know,
true.
like if you're
Sorry,
going
I was
to
basing
go
that on world
across
cruising.
the Indian Ocean, then you want a different style boat than if you're going to go sail around, like let's say Thailand and the Philippines and Asia, where you're working in inland seas and the breezes are lighter. So I mean, if you're going to go across serious oceans, get a blue water capable boat. And there's monohulls that I would not take across an ocean. There's monohulls that I would. The same thing with catamarans as well. There's just so many variables.
Okay, we're going to pick another winner.
Oh, winner. Sorry.
Sorry, we're breaking it up here. 718, come on through.
All right.
Look
Front row.
at, isn't that convenient?
Okay, we got winner. We got question. Yellow shirts.
Perfect.
A lot of great questions on the Facebook page. Will you take the time to answer them?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
We can do
We will do that.
We'll do that for sure. Thank you.
Boat maintenance, we've seen you fix everything from windlasses to refrigerator motors. How did you learn all of that? And any advice to us getting ready to go cruising?
Yeah. I guess I would say I've probably broken as much stuff as I fixed, at least the first couple of years.
While you're fixing it.
While I was fixing it, but then you learn to not do that again. There's actually some really cool resources and books out there. There's one book called Boat Mechanical and Electrical. Boat Electrical and Mechanical Systems by Nigel Calder, and he goes step by step, like refrigeration breaks, check thermostat, check this, check that. Engine stops working, check this, check that. It's a big, thick book. If you go to svdelos.com and then go to required reading, just search for that. It's in there, all the books, there's a lot of resources. And I think if you have that, a few tools and some common sense, you'll do all right. Yeah?
Do I need to read all the numbers?
Last three numbers.
725. 725.
Going once? 725.
725.
Now it's definitely a bingo hall. 725.
725.
Okay, going once, going twice. 803. 803.
Could you bring candy to the backstage, please?
Next on stage, Candy.
Gentlemen, don't forget to tip your ladies. Okay, we sneak another question in. Anybody have a... Oh, in the back, in the back. So one of a cool thing that a place that I'd really like to go is Japan. And if we go back to the Pacific, I think, or when we go back to the Pacific, because Karin didn't get to see a lot of the Pacific, I would love to do a loop, the typical coconut run, and then come back up through like Philippines, and then hit Taiwan, and then hit Japan, and then Alaska, and then coming back through the Pacific Northwest. So
Yes.
I think it would be a sweet sail. We'd have to put a heater in Delos, so I don't know if that's
Delos 2.0.
or Delos 2.0. Oh.
What would be Delos 2.0?
Ooh.
Whoa. Okay. What do you think?
We've talked about this a lot. Brian and I, sometimes I won't say what we do, but we brainstorm late at night. We sit around and we talk. And we've gone back and forth between a big trimaran or like a big monohull.
Yeah, like a wicked, crazy expeditionary style trimaran, or like a
30 meter monohull or
something like that.
But expeditionary style with like living space, same size, but enough room to hold cool
like
stuff.
cool toys and make it like real tough and rugged.
Like motorcycles and like
nothing fancy, no super yacht style, but like meant for high altitude and craziness, high latitude and wild sailing.
Talk to us in 20 years or next lifetime, I don't know.
Or 5 years or whatever.
We'll work it out.
So I didn't.
People have questions.
Whoa, that's a great. You mean like the videos and stuff, or just in general? I think when we saw our people starting, like our parents and our close friends starting to follow the trip and enjoying that, we felt like maybe there's an opportunity here to spread a lifestyle that we love and something that we feel very passionate about. And if we can influence even one person to go out and live their dreams, and that may not be like, that doesn't have to be something like quitting your job and sailing around the world. It may be something as much as like making sure that you take 15 or 20 minutes a day just for yourself to like enjoy life and smile and just chill, and instead of living in the stress that is out there, then that's worth it. And if we can spread that, then that's why we do it, man, because we love it and it's cool.
So you guys are 10 years apart, you said?
Yeah, I'm 40 and Brady is, how old are you, Brady? He's turning 30
I'm
soon.
turning 30 next month.
Brady's turning 30.
Yeah, it's a big dirty 30. If anybody wants to come to Cape Town, we're having a big party. No more numbers.
Obviously, that's a big age gap, and you were in different life stages before Delos. So how has your relationship with brothers changed before and after being together on the boat?
Okay, the question is, how has our relationship with brothers changed before and after being on the boat? Son of a
I
bitch.
hate his voice.
If I see his balls one more time, I swear to God.
He loves
Just
my
wear
balls.
some pants, bro. Seriously, put on some pants.
Nobody got time for pants out there. All right, guys. I'm sorry, but we're gonna break it up now. We're
out of time.
The manager's giving me the we're out of time stuff, so we're gonna walk around and we're gonna talk to you guys in person. Dad's been cutting me off for a while here. We've been pushing it.
So thank you guys.
Thank you so much for coming.
We'll spread out in the bar and peace and love, and it was awesome.
But feel free to walk around, and the bar is open, so make the.
Do we want to say about the boat parade or anything?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
So there's a boat parade going on tonight, which some of you may know about. And if you want to get on the Santa boat, it is docked. Does anybody know where it's docked? There we go. 10 blocks? What? I was told it's 1 block. Okay, well, the Santa boat. Yeah. Okay. So the Santa boat is having people on board, and you'll get a dinner, and the tickets are $75, I think.
And we're going.
Yeah, we'll be on board. So we'll find out where it is, and if you want to follow us, you'll follow us out of here. We'll probably be heading there about 6:30 or so, and we'll be making our way towards the Santa boat to be in the back of the parade. If you do want to watch the parade, just head to the river right out here, and you can watch the whole parade.